All right, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel. I will bring you back to back update and information as it is hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. We will collect them. You don't share it for the obodo as it is hot for the land of the indigenous people of Biafra. I'm going to bring you the information one by one, one by one, one by one. As it be, the veterans, Igbo veterans of US have written to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, demanding the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. A lot of people thought that people like Kanu, that their own is finished, especially with the present government, but that's the reverse is the case. And looking at current situation or the current situation surrounding the case of Nnamdi Kanu, I think in no distant time, Kanu will be out of the DSS detention. In no distant time, Nnamdi Kanu will surely be out of the DSS detention. Because of what? Because some people are cooking. Something is cooking that many people don't know. It's not everything that you come out and say on social media, but there are a lot of things cooking that the enemies does not know, because a lot of nations have started looking into Nnamdi Kanu's matter. Even the present government of Donald Trump have started looking into his matter to be able to understand what is actually happening, what is going on, and how did he get to this particular point that he is now. And I promise you that those who are behind Kanu's incarceration are going to be very disappointed as soon as possible, because what they thought, what they meant, and what they felt is not what is going to happen anymore, because international community are coming into the case to make sure that Kanu is freed from the DSS detention. Not only that he is freed, that he is discharged and acquitted. All right, let's go to this current information. Igbo US military veterans Right Tinubu calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release. The American military veteran of Igbo descent, AVID, have written an open letter to President Bola Tinubu requesting for the immediate release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The letter, signed by the AVID president, Dr. Sylvester Onya, and secretary, Dr. Gosin Obiagu, urged the Nigerian government to comply with multiple court rulings and international directives that have declared Kanu's detention illegal and unjust. AVID's request is based on several legal rulings and international human rights decisions that have condemned Kanu's detention and extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021. The letter highlighted key judicial pronouncements from Nigerian courts and international bodies, all of which have ruled in favor of Kanu's release. The group recalled that on October 26, 2022, the Federal High Court of Nigeria ruled that Kanu's arrest and detention were illegal. The court held that his extradition from Kenya was unlawful and that his continued detention in Abuja violated his fundamental human rights. The ruling explicitly condemned the Nigerian government action. It's noted that despite the ruling, the Nigerian government had continued to detain Kanu, a move AVID described as unconstitutional and in defiance of Nigeria's judicial system. AVID letter further references the Supreme Court of Nigeria's decision in December 2023 which, while remanding Kanu's case to the Federal High Court for trial, also acknowledged the circumstances surrounding his initial detention. The group recalled that the Supreme Court condemned the government's military invasion of Kanu's home, which forced him to flee Nigeria. The Apex Court ruled that the government's subsequent action seeking his rearrest and extradition under the pretense that he had jumped bail were unjust and deceptive. According to the group, the ruling acknowledged that Kano's absence from court was not voluntary but necessitated by the actions of the Nigerian military, making his continued detention unjustifiable. AVID also cited the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which issued a landmark opinion in July 2022. The UN body directed the Nigerian government to immediately release Kanu and provide him with compensation for his unlawful extradition and detention. The letter emphasized that as a member of the United Nations and a signatory to international human rights treaties, Nigeria is legally bound to comply with the UN directives. AVID argued that the Nigerian government's failure to adhere to these obligations undermines its credibility on the international stage and raises concern about its commitment to human rights and rule of law. Beyond the legal and human rights consideration, AVID asserted that Kanu's continued detention had escalated from a judicial matter to a political issue, one that requires urgent intervention by President Tinubu. The group urged the president to restore Kanu's bail or discontinue his prosecution altogether in the interest of justice and national stability. The group suffice it to say that there is a gainsaying that this matter has transformed from the legal or judicial to the political, which is within the executive province and prerogative of President Tinubu, and as the saying goes, the buck stops at the president's table. The letter concludes by appealing to President Tinubu's sense of justice and leadership, calling on him to uphold the rule of law by ordering Kanu's immediate release. AVID warned that ignoring court rulings and international directives set a dangerous precedent for Nigeria's democracy and justice system. It argued that the government's action in Kanu's case could erode public trust in the judicial and damage Nigeria's international reputation. The group also suggested that resolving Kanu's case peacefully could cease tension in the southeast region of Nigeria, where his continued detention has fueled unrest. AVID urged President Tinubu to take decisive action to prevent further division and instability. AVID's open letter served as both a legal argument and moral plea for justice by citing multiple court rulings, international mandates, and Nigeria's constitutional obligation. The group makes a compelling case for Kanu's immediate release. The letter underscores the urgency of the matter and calls on President Tinubu to act swiftly to rectify what is described as a grave injustice, while thanking you for your anticipated sound direction in halting this grave injustice. Please permit us to also assure you of our abiding regards by your high office. Alright. This is coming from American veterans of Igbo descent. American veterans of Igbo descent have demanded the immediate release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from the detention, and they have cited a lot of laws that the Nigerian government should pay attention. And sometimes one begins to wonder if the nation called NIG actually go according to the tenets of the law, because looking at some things that had been happening, you might be wondering, why are things this way? Why have things not changed? Some of these things, when you look at them, you find out that some of the things that the government of this day is doing, or the government of the nation called NIG, you will find out a lot of injustice, a lot of imbalances, and a lot of things that are not as they ought to be. It is now as if the court that is supposed to be the hope of the common man uh, is has now become the enemy of the common man. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain, and if this is your first time of joining us, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you for listening. God bless you.